Hi, my name is Kevin Ream, Vice President and General Manager of Crownline Boats, and we're here today to do a product walk-around on our exciting new E29XS. Now this boat is what we call one of our flagship boats. We're really excited about the performance, the longest list of standard features, and all the comfort and convenience this boat offers. One of the things I'd like to point out before we get started is that everything we're going to talk about today here on this boat virtually applies to its sister craft, the E30, which is the stern drive version. So as we go through this boat, all of that design philosophy can also be carried over to the E30 in your discussions with your local dealer. So let's get started. And just by the way of background, the specs on this boat is 29 feet 3 inches. The beam is 9'2", so it's actually what we call a wide beam or an oversized boat. The dead rise is 22 degrees at the transom, 31 degrees angle of entry at the bow, and the weight comes in about 8,350 pounds. The stern drive version is 10 inches longer, and it comes in about 9,100 pounds. So there are some small variations in both LOA and the weight difference between the outboard and the stern drive. I'm really excited to get started going through this boat, so let's start with the back of the boat and all the features that come standard on this product. When we talk about the E29XS and the E30, we're talking about all new hull designs, all new deck designs, all new upholstery designs, and the longest list of standard features in the industry for anything in close to its same size in the peer group. Now, one of the things we did is built these platforms on what we call performance fast tab hulls. And we talked about where we changed the angle of the ventilation on the fast tab, and we also extended the lifting strakes. What I'd like to point out is on an oversized boat, again, 9'2" beam, we took these exterior lifting strakes and extended them all the way to the transom. That provides maximum lift and ventilation to the performance of your bottom, your hull bottom. By doing this, from the initial proto phase into the final production phase, we picked up 3 miles an hour in increased performance and speed by extending these lifting strakes and changing the angle of the ventilation. So for us, this was a home run in the way we changed the design, carrying over to the performance fast tab hull. Also, this boat comes standard with the trim tabs with indicators at the driver helm station. You also have the underwater transom lighting, your 4-step boarding ladder. You have an oversized full walk-around swim platform design with the non-slip mat. Now that full walk-around is an important design feature with the outboard. You have 2 stainless steel grab handles, both port and starboard, and this boat also comes with our social swim transom design with the 2 wet sound splash-proof speakers designed into the rear of the boat. This boat comes standard with 10 wet sound speakers, so a great sound system comes standard. It also comes with your plug-in battery charger. So if you've been on the water all day, enjoying your stereo equipment, when you dock up at the end of the day, just plug it in and charge up your batteries. No hassle, easy convenience feature. Focusing in on the cockpit design, really the goals for the design team were to design a boat where the layout was like 4 huge lounge chairs if you're sitting around the pool enjoying yourself. And that's really what we try to capture with the design of this boat. So what we have here is 2 electric sunbeds. Those of you familiar with our E-Series and some of our bigger bow riders know that they're designed with a single. This has got a twin sunbed. Both of them are also electric, so they can be stopped in any position. 3/4, full-length layout. And that's why this notch is designed into the cockpit layout here in between the seating, so that that sunbed can be extended to the full-length layout position. A couple other things I'd like to point out. As I mentioned, with an outboard, this whole area underneath these seat bases that we'll show you in just a minute is on an electric ram, but it's huge amount of storage. Life vests, picnic baskets, large air toys. Anything you want to bring on board is going to go in here. It's a huge amount of storage that we're going to talk to you about in just a minute. The other thing I want to point out is the battery management panel. Now, what we've designed in here is easy access to your all your fuses, all your battery switches, everything you may ever need to reset a battery or fuse is located right here, conveniently within arm's reach, designed in with an access door into the rear starboard side of your upholstery. So from a convenience standpoint, it's a real design plus the way we have this located for comfort and convenience. Putting the seat back in the up position. Also point out that walkthrough, the entire walkthrough from the swim platform all the way into the cockpit comes with the non-slip mat. So once again, if you're crawling out of the water, it could be some sand there. The non-slip mat that we put in place, make sure that any surface you step on is a non-slip surface. So again, just showing that both seats actuate and go into that full sunbed position. The other thing I'd like to point out is the hands-free hinges. So these other dual lounge chairs that we have here in the cockpit, Both the driver and passenger seat are on stainless steel hardware that pivots forward and aft. So it pivots into that lock position. So again, this is designed to be a secondary lounge seat. So you could be having a conversation area, you could be enjoying a cocktail, you could be enjoying a meal, and everybody can be in a position where you're both enjoying the sun and each other's company. The thing I'd like to point out here as well is the hands-free hinge on our large storage area. Now, on the rear port side, we do have a cockpit pocket refrigerator. Pulls out, snaps in place. So this cockpit refrigerator allows you to keep things on ice, keep things cool, any kind of perishable item that you may want to keep in the cockpit refrigerator. This is all standard equipment. This storage area has a small glass bulkhead designed in because it has to encapsulate that refrigerator. But you have your storage that's remaining maximized over on the rear port side. Again, hands-free hinges, so as you're carrying items into the boat, the large cushion supports itself and closes back down in position. Behind the driver, again, have hands-free hinges on the oversized cushion, and this is a large amount of cockpit storage. This is where we ship the standard bow and cockpit canvas, what comes with this boat, also any other carry items you might have. Just for reference, again, stepping down, it comes up high on my thigh, and it runs forward actually all the way to just underneath the driver's seat location itself. So it's a large, deep storage area for additional cockpit. Some storage on that side to the left of the refrigerator, and then this oversized area here. When not in use, the cushion folds back down, and as I mentioned before, both the driver and the passenger seat have a flip-flop design, so this can be designed into a secondary lounge chair as well. Let's talk a little bit about the engine hatch. I want to be able to show that to you folks. So as I mentioned before, it's on an electric seat base. The ram is designed to go a little bit slow, so never a safety issue with anything getting caught inside. You see the access panels, you have access to both your batteries and your fuel tanks. When I say oversized storage, I mean it's a large storage area. This is one of the few design differences between the E29 outboard version that has this cockpit storage and the E30 stern drive. In the stern drive version, this is a cutout area that accesses into your stern drive engines, into the engine compartment. But in the outboard, you pick up this area as additional cockpit storage. Continuing to move forward on the boat, a couple of things I'd like to point out again in this cockpit area, and that's one of them is the sidewall storage. And what I mean by that is the locations of these combing boxes on both port and starboard that come with a stainless steel grab handle, 2 stainless steel cup holders, a 12-volt charging system on both port and starboard location, and also one of your 10 wet sound speakers. As I mentioned, this boat comes standard with 10 wet sound splash-proof speakers. It's 2 in the back, 2 on the hardtop, 2 in the cockpit, 2 just forward of me at both the driver and passenger location, and then 2 in the bow, complete the 10 unit cycle. The other thing I'd like to point out is I'm standing here in the deep, oversized floor storage of the boat. Now again, we talk repeatedly about the depth of our storage, and that has to goes all the way back to the overall design philosophy of our boats. Again, our boats are traditionally bigger, deeper, and heavier, and they're heavier because our shear, the overall depth of our boats, is much taller than our competition. And where that design philosophy shows up is in items such as the cockpit storage, your floor storage, and also the depth of your head compartment. Those are the 3 real keys that you look for. And lastly, you'd also look for the depth of your storage in your bow. Those really are the drivers that kind of emphasize the design philosophy that we bring to the market with our oversized shear, and why our boats are always heavier than our competition, because they're bigger, deeper, and heavier. What I want to show here is this undermount cockpit storage drawer. On the E29 and E30, it's actually located under the rear port side. And so on most of the other boats, it's located under the driver. On the E29 and 30, it's under the port side. And this is where you store your cockpit table and the leg that comes standard with this boat. And when it's not in use, you just simply slide it back in place, and you have access to this huge oversized storage area. The storage lid is also what we call an RTM lid, which is a finished A and B side, and is supported with a stainless steel shock. Climbing out, just easily closes back up, and it's lockable. So if you keep anything that's wakeboards or surfboards or anything that's a little bit more valuable, that lid is also a lockable storage area. Let's take a few minutes to talk about the marquee hardtop that comes standard on both the E29 and E30. So first I want to point out is the clearance in the cockpit is 6 foot 6 inches. So you got plenty of headroom. Second, I want to talk about the way that the speakers are designed into the corner of the hardtop, but then angled out so that the sound projects to the back of the boat. Third, I'd like to talk about the standard SureShade canvas that comes with the hardtop. How the canvas works, it's a lever fingertip control that releases both sides, and the SureShade canvas expands out about 6 feet. And what happens is it's designed to cover the people sitting in the back of the boat. When you're ready to have the canvas go back, again, fingertip release both sides, and you can slide it back. Now, you might be asking, what are these little bungees that are here? If you ever trailer the boat, or when you're under power, say you're going from point A to point B, these bungee straps are designed to go around the SureShade and lock the canvas in place so it can't open up accidentally. Another key design feature of the standard marquee top are these, what we call reverse backup lights. Now, I'd like for you to think about this. If you're ever driving in low light conditions, say it's dusk, maybe you've been on the water all day, you're going back to your slip, it's getting dark, you hit the switch and it illuminates, these like backup lights illuminate your slip. Then think about the second thing, flip your underwater transom lighting and it illuminates the water underneath. So again, those that boat in low light conditions, dusk, maybe you boat at night, returning from a dinner out on the water, we have designed in features that allow you to safely dock the boat at night in low light conditions, in fog, whatever might happen. We want to make sure you enjoy your boating, but always have that comfort and convenience right at your fingertips with this marquee boat. Moving forward, let's spend a few minutes talking about the helm station on the E29 E30. Well, first of all, I'd like to point out is that the majority of your switches are all illuminated, so they're easy, quick reference on whether they're in the on or off position. Second, this boat comes standard with a 9-inch Raymarine ES9 system with a gateway cable, and it tells you all about your engine information, your fuel flow, your cruising range. Also comes standard with the Navionics Plus chip for mapping, which will accommodate probably 90% of our boaters. It also has a secondary transducer, so you have sonar also included with this boat. As a set of redundancy, we also have some additional gauges. And here you'll see your indicators for your trim tabs that we talked about early on in the product walk around. And next I want to talk about this. This is your twin digital controls, port and starboard engine, and also your joystick. Now, the joystick control is standard on all of our twin applications for both the 29 and the 30. That is both outboard and stern drive twin applications come standard with the joystick control. You also will pinpoint out this one tagline here on the dash, talks about skyhook. And that's an additional feature in the joystick that you can hit a button and it locks you in position, kind of an anchor feature if you want to stay put even in heavy winds. So it has a lot of value to all the product that we put in standard in the boat. Twin DTS controls, joystick steering, 9-inch Raymarine, illuminated rocker switches, premium stereos, and additional gauges. All right here covered with a hand-wrapped double-stitch brow. When I say oversized in our head designs, I mean oversized. So again, at 6'1", 205 pounds, I'm easily fitting inside our head compartment. I'm actually sitting on top of the lid in the electric flush toilet that's standard in this boat. So let's do a quick run through in the head compartment. First, have a large step down area here with a non-slip mat and a floor drain. Have a toilet paper holder located under here. You have a lower galley station, stainless steel handle, granite countertop, a vessel sink with a silhouette faucet, and we also have an upper galley located in this head compartment. And that upper galley comes with lighting underneath to really help illuminate the head area. Opening port light. And last, I point out, because the electric flush toilet is standard on this, we have a level indicator on your water levels for the tank located right here on the inside wall. So visually, it's very easy to see the levels in your waste tanks. So again, when I talk oversized, I mean oversized. As we continue to move forward to the bow section, just a couple other key standard features I'd like to point out. First, the full-length stainless steel windshield header on this model, also the stainless steel windshield lock. In addition to that, we also have the bow closeout doors. Now, the way these are designed is that they kind of lock in place, and what that does is provide you access to a couple of the other neat storage features that we've designed in. One, fingertip release on the slide-out drawer for your waste basket. Not using that, locks back in place. Then second, another additional top drawer for storage. Now this is where you may want to put your cell phones, your wallet, suntan lotion, anything that you don't want flying around the boat, located right here into this drawer. Slide it back in place, locks in place. So again, these are accordion style bow closeout doors, and when they're not in use, they're flush mount, put them back in place, lock the handle down. Before we wrap things up, let's spend a few minutes talking about the fully upholstered bow section in this E29XS. A couple things I'd like to point out. First, full-length stainless steel grab handles, easily located here. Combing boxes, both port and starboard, with dual stainless steel cup holders, wet sound speakers. Also, the 12-volt charging stations I mentioned before are located on both sides of the bow. For your comfort and convenience, the bow chairs are designed with a 16-degree recline angle. We've actually overstuffed the center sections of both port and starboard side to give additional lumbar support with this diamond stitching. We have an oversized pillow top headrest and articulating armrests on both port and starboard side. One of the other nice features of the bow is the comfort and convenience of the storage. And as you've seen through many of our boats, we have the hands-free scissor hinges that pivot up both of these forward cushions, so you have easy access to the storage in the bow. We also have in-floor storage designed in, and this is where you would put your oversized fenders for a boat of this size. Easy access lid, fenders would go in the floor storage. When these are in the down position, you have easy access to the center cushion for your 36-quart carry-on cooler. One of the other features I'd like to point out on the boat is, on the bow section, is the windlass. Now the windlass is standard on the 29 and 30. So again, access the lid, you have your stainless steel bow roller, your tie-off cleat, your windlass, your drop for your anchor, rope, and chain, and you have a manual switch here to control the windlass when you're in the forward portion of the boat. You also have a control on the dash panel as well, so it can be controlled from either location. I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough on the E29XS today, and before we wrap things up, I want to talk a little bit about the performance of this boat, what you could expect if we were lucky enough to earn your business. Now, when we first introduced this boat in September of 2016, we were very excited about the overall performance of the boat. When I tell you it's traditional for you to capture 52 to 56 mile an hour with twin 250 engines, I think you'll be very pleased. 58 to 62 is what can be expected with twin 300s. But you don't have to believe my word. If you go back and check the research, you'll quickly see that after introduction, we got the cover of Boating Magazine in early 2017, and the writers and the independent writers tested our boat, and they found exactly the same type of performance characteristics that I just mentioned. In addition, you'll find in the article that they reference they've never seen a boat in that 29 to 30 foot section that gets on plane so quickly with virtually no bow rise. So again, the independent people in the industry have already spoken volumes about the performance that you can expect to see in our E29 and E30. And again, it has to do with our all-new deck, all-new hull designs, and our performance fast tab hulls. Everything we've talked about here today can be applied to the sister craft, the E30, with the exception of just a few things. As I've mentioned, in the outboard, you get the benefit of the storage underneath the twin sunbeds. In the stern drive version, that's a cutout for your engine compartment. Also, the swim platform is a little different, obviously. In the outboard, you have the cutout for the outboard mounting. In the stern drive version, you have a continuous one-piece swim platform. And also, the stern drive version is about 10 inches longer, a little bit heavier. Other than that, the layouts are virtually the same. So if we're lucky enough to earn your business in either one of these models, I think you'll find great enjoyment with these marquee flagship boats that Crownline's brought to the market in just the last year. The E29XS and the E30 stern drive, exciting boats that we're extremely proud of, and we hope that we can earn your business. See you at the boat shows. Thank you.